If you can't stop scrolling, it's not because you're lazy, it's because your real life doesn't feel as rewarding as your feed. That was me, addicted to 15-second dopamine loops, wasting hours in the name of rest. But everything changed when I put in place what I call the 3 hobby system. 1 physical win, 1 life win, and 1 creative win. My scrolling addiction didn't disappear, it got replaced. In this video, I'll break down each one of those wins, exactly why I chose it, why it works, and how you can build your own. But before we get into the system, let's pause real quick. Because if you're anything like me, you didn't start scrolling to waste time. You just wanted a break, something light, something entertaining, but what you didn't notice is the silent trade you make with every swipe. 1 scroll for a laugh, another for a hit of motivation, and the last just to feel something. And your brain adapted fast. Why chase real progress when the fake ones show up way quicker? Dopamine isn't some evil chemical, it's just confused. It's your brain's way to reward you when you do a good job, but short form content has absolutely hijacked it. So instead of chasing progress, you chase possibility. The result? You're starving, distracted, and stimulated. But content's not going to satisfy that craving. You need something that actually pulls you forward. So let's start with the first win of this video, a creative outlet. Most people don't realize it, but scrolling isn't just about boredom, it's about under-expression. Online, you watch other people build, perform, and share, and without even noticing it, your brain starts to silently ask, where's mine? If you ignore that question long enough, you don't just feel distracted, you feel hollow. Less original, less expressive, and less like you. But creative hobbies answer that, not with content, but with ownership. There's no external validation. There's no likes, shares, or comments. Everything you earn is because you did it. They're slow, they're frustrating, but they're yours, and that makes all the difference. Because the second you finish something, a rough draft, a melody, a sketch you've been working on, you feel a sense of pride that you forgot was possible. There's no algorithm, there's no scroll, it's just you. But you don't need to be a genius. You do not need to be the next Frank Ocean. You just need something that pulls you out of spectator mode. And here's what that really shifts. You stop chasing stimulation and you start chasing identity. You're not thinking, I want to be distracted or entertained. You're thinking, I want to get better. So how do you find the right creative win? Step 1, start with curiosity, not pressure. You don't need to find your forever hobby, you just need a spark. Something that feels slightly interesting for the next 30 days, start there. Step 2, make it small, make it daily, and don't worry about being good. Just show up. That's exactly what happened with me and the guitar. I wasn't good and I'm still not. But learning a chord progression, getting a riff right, and hearing myself improve gave me the kind of satisfaction a scroll never could. And now it's one of my favorite things to do every day. Because once you start on your creative win, your brain starts to recalibrate. Not towards noise, but towards progress. So if this is clicking for you so far, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I cut through all the noise to only give you what actually works. I just want to restate the most important point of this entire video. You're not addicted to content, you're addicted to what your life's missing. We've covered expressions, now let's talk about movement, the physical win. This is the part of your day that gives you momentum your feed could never compare to. Right now, you might have a foggy feeling in your brain. You sit down to get some work done, you try to fumble through tabs, but nothing clicks. Like there are 100 phones sending messages, but none of the service is working. That's exactly what happens when your mind's always active, but your body's not. We treat rest like it's supposed to just happen. Sitting, laying, scrolling, we think that's helping our brain out. But your brain won't recharge that way. It needs friction. It needs a signal to reset. So working out doesn't just burn calories, it erases static. You move your body and your mind follows. The scroll gives you novelty and entertainment. Movement gives you feedback and real progress. You lift something heavier than last week, you run a little bit further or faster, and you stretch a little bit deeper. Those results make you feel anchored, like you showed up and you were actually rewarded for it. And that is the secret power of the physical win. Once your brain gets a taste of that, it starts craving real growth, not stimulation. But no, you do not need to go out and buy the nearest gym membership. You don't need a 5-day split, a coach, or even any equipment. You just need resistance, something that creates that friction I talked about earlier. It could be a backpack, push-ups, or the stairs. It does not matter. What matters is you move, not to burn calories, but to tell your brain, I'm here, I'm in control. It's a small effort, but it's a big return every single time. My physical win has been found in the gym. It isn't some perfect plan, but it's a routine I can stick to. Push-pull legs 6 days a week, and then I rest on Sunday. The moment I started showing up consistently, the brain fog I talked about earlier, it's gone. It's completely out of my life. My brain now has the signal from my body that it needs to reset. It needs to empty the garbage bin of all these leftover thoughts. Why chase fake progress when real progress feels this good? The physical win has made scrolling feel empty for me. Finally, let's talk about the life win, because movement and expression are fantastic, but without without direction, they fade. That's the part no one ever mentions about balance. You can have hobbies, you can work out, but if you don't have your North Star, everything feels directionless. That is my personal definition of invisible burnout. You're doing the right things and you're showing up, but every day feels the same. It all blends together. So if you don't find that life win, you're gonna keep trying to solve this direction problem with more stimulation, more hobbies, more money spent, and more scrolling. But there's only one thing you need to tie everything together. Not a win for your body, not a win for your expression, but a win for your soul. It's an identity. It pulls all your habits, all your energy, and all your time forward to one goal. And most importantly, it's the reason your days actually start to mean something. But here's the catch. You don't need some life-changing, world-changing North Star. You don't need to find your purpose. You don't need to discover the truth of the universe. All you need to do is walk a path you are proud of, even if you don't win, even if it's slow, and even if no one claps. Because what matters is not how impressive it looks to others. What matters is how fulfilled you feel doing it. Most people try to find this win by becoming more productive. They're gonna get more things done, they're gonna try to experience as much as possible. And you're gonna end up doing those things and still feeling like you're not enough. That's the trap. It's not that you're lazy, your effort just isn't landing anywhere meaningful. Eventually, that makes you start to wonder, what am I actually doing this for? For me, I found that anchor in teaching. Whether I'm teaching first-year students at my college or teaching you on this video here, it has been the driving factor for everything I do. The gym is no longer about being fit, it's about getting fuel for my life. The guitar isn't just for fun, it's helped me think, connect, and relax. Each hobby stopped floating in its own space in my life. Now they all point in the same direction. And once I saw that, scrolling lost its grip because I wasn't consuming anymore. I was building something that actually mattered to me. So now you're wondering, how do you find your own North Star? Well, here's the good news. You don't need to have it all figured out. Life wins aren't found, they are developed. Don't spend forever searching for the perfect path to walk. Build it instead. What's one thing you'd be proud to work toward even if no one ever saw it? What's something that would never go viral but would feel every bit as worth it to you? Once you can answer those questions, you found your thread. Start there, pull on it slowly, and eventually you're gonna have the whole plan figured out. You'll be surprised of how fast your life starts to change direction. Not towards content, but towards commitment. So that's the system. One for expression, one for movement, and one for direction. You don't escape the scroll by resisting dopamine with some dopamine detox. You escape it by earning your dopamine. If this helped, check out the video on one of these sides of the screen. I'm sure it will help you even more. Thanks for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one.